spoiler alert. In The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2, the stranger yearns for home, and Tolkien canon makes it obvious where this would have been, regardless of his true identity. In Season 1, this enigmatic figure appears in Middle-earth akin to a meteor, and he has not known who he is since. In Rings of Power Season 2, the stranger, Nori, and Poppy go around Rhûn in the hopes of finding out more about the identity and purpose of this being. But the stranger can feel the tug of a home he does not recall with each step. The stranger's identity is still unknown, although Season 1 of the Rings of Power makes it clear that he is either a wizard or an Istar. 5 Istari were dispatched to Middle-earth in the Tolkien canon to help bring Sauron to his knees. The most well-known of these is Gandalf, and it has been strongly hinted that Prime Video's take on the renowned Lord of the Rings figure is the stranger. He might still be one of the other Istari, of course, like Saruman, Radagast, or the blue wizards Alatar and Pallando. Although the identity of the stranger will undoubtedly be revealed in Rings of Power, we already know enough to infer his origins.
No, it can't be.
Welcome to Movie Spy. The Undying Lands are the stranger's home. The Istari originated in Valinor. The stranger would have resided in the Undying Lands, once known as Valinor, prior to traveling to Middle-earth. This kingdom is located on Aman, the continent that borders Middle-earth to the west. The Ainur, who resemble angels or demigods, reside in Valinor. They helped Ilúvatar, the god of the Lord of the Rings, create the universe and have been watching over Middle-earth and its inhabitants for all of recorded time. In a previous existence, the stranger who knew who he was would have been one of them, enjoying centuries of bliss. At the end of The Lord of the Rings, the elves sailed to the Undying Lands. Along with ring-bearers like Frodo and Bilbo, they would have merged with the Ainur there and coexisted peacefully with them. The whole point of sending Frodo to Valinor was to rid the severely afflicted hobbit of the agony and suffering he would otherwise endure on his quest. In contrast, Middle-earth was a place that was depleting despite its abundance of beauty and promise for creativity and strength. That is why it makes sense that the stranger missed home. When the stranger regains his memory, Middle-earth will seem more familiar. The stranger most likely visited Middle-earth before the Rings of Power started. 2 groups of Ainur of Valinor were formed. The higher-ups, the Valar, were more akin to archangels or demigods and ruled over particular facets of trade or nature. The Meteor were the angelic attendants of the Valar, capable of assuming different forms at will. A legendary curiosity towards the children of Ilúvatar elves and men, the Meteor Istari were. In order to fit in among Middle-earth's population, they would frequently shapeshift and roam among various communities, observing and gathering knowledge about them. As a result, it is likely that the stranger visited Middle-earth more than once during Rings of Power Season 1. But this shapeshifting would not have been the same as the journey to Middle-earth and the transformation into an Istar. He would not have experienced that moment of confusion or lost his memory as he traveled among the elves and men, either in their form or unseen. This is something special about learning to be a magician. Why it takes a lot of work to become an Istari. The stranger cannot remember where he came from. It is not the same as when they shapeshift when the Meteor transform into Istari. In essence, wizards such as Saruman, Radagast, and Gandalf were reincarnations of Maya. Their soul or spirit was infused into a body that, while strong, constrained their potential as Meteor. They would no longer be able to shapeshift at will. And like the elves, their soul would be transferred to the halls of Mandos if their body was irreparably broken. In The Lord of the Rings, the process of turning into an Istar is portrayed as confusing. The Meteor are something else, even though they are still who they are. This is what happened to Gandalf twice in The Lord of the Rings. He was Gandalf the Grey in his first incarnation, but he perished in Moria when battling the Balrog. Ilúvatar resurrected his spirit into a new Istar body, this time taking the form of Gandalf the White, the enhanced version. This wizard had forgotten all about Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas until he was reunited with them. He had forgotten without being told that he had once been Gandalf. It took some time for his memories to come back because he was someone different. The stranger in the Rings of Power illustrates something similar. Thanks for watching.